Imagine ordering a pizza, but instead of food death knocks on your door. It was August 28, 2003 in Erie, Pennsylvania, when an ordinary pizza delivery boy named Brian Wells walked into a deadly trap while delivering a routine order to a secluded TV tower. A group of cold-blooded psychopaths ambushed him. Before he could even scream, they locked a massive, heavy iron collar bomb around his neck. They handed him a walking cane that was secretly a modified shotgun and a terrifying 9-page letter forcing him into a twisted scavenger hunt. The note read, "If you want to live, do exactly as we say. Your time is ticking." Terrified and weeping, Brian was forced to walk into a bank with a ticking bomb around his neck, demanding $250,000. But the bank only gave him $8,700, and Brian ran out, desperately hunting for the next clue to unlock the bomb. He had no idea that the sick masterminds never made a key. The bomb was always meant to detonate. Minutes later, the police surrounded him in a parking lot as news cameras broadcasted live to millions. Brian sat on the asphalt begging for his life, screaming that it was going to go off. Suddenly, the warning beeps grew faster and a horrific explosion tore through the air, killing him instantly. Just 3 minutes before the bomb squad arrived, the investigation later revealed the terrifying masterminds Marjorie Deal Armstrong and Bill Rothstein, who designed this ultimate nightmare just to get money for a hitman. It remains one of calculated true crime stories in history. The most chilling and the most terrifying part is that some dark secrets about this case are still locked away deep inside FBI files. If you are obsessed with chilling true crime, mysteries that stay with you long after the video ends, hit that. And with the death of Brian Wells, that was just but the horror of this story did not. Beginning of the terrifying darkness that was about to spread through the streets of Erie, Pennsylvania, exactly 3 days after Brian was blown to pieces. Another delivery boy from the exact same pizza shop named Robert Pinetti mysteriously died inside his own bedroom. The FBI was about to question Robert, but he was silenced before they could even reach him. Even today, many secrets of this conspiracy and those monsters. Experts believe that Robert knew the dark, poisoned him to keep him quiet forever. When the FBI dug deeper into this nightmare, they received a phone call that blew everyone's mind. Bill Rothstein called 911, and his voice was as cold as ice. He told the police that there was a frozen dead body hidden inside a massive deep freezer in his basement. When the police raided the house, they were left in absolute horror. That body belonged to a man named James Roden, who was shot dead by Bill's psychotic girlfriend, Marjorie Deal Armstrong. Just imagine the pure level of insanity. While Bill Rothstein was sitting there building that heavy iron-collared bomb for Brian Wells, at that exact same time a frozen human corpse was lying inside the freezer in that dark basement. Marjorie was no ordinary woman. She was a living demon who suffered from multiple mental illnesses and had already murdered 2 of her previous boyfriends. She was a real-life Black Widow whose house was completely filled with rotting garbage. She turned the courtroom into a filth and a horrific stench when the FBI finally caught complete circus showing zero remorse for the death of that innocent pizza. Boy, the most terrifying truth of all came out when a secret witness revealed that the entire scavenger hunt was a complete lie, a key to unlock. That bomb was never even made. Brian Wills was always meant to die that afternoon. Those sick masterminds had engineered a trap where their victim would become their ultimate silent witness and be destroyed. On live TV, this case remains an open wound in American history, and the fear it caused has never faded, even though Marjorie died in prison in 2017. The locals still believe that other conspirators involved in this twisted plot are walking free among us today, just waiting for their next victim. But wait, there are pages of this dark mystery that will give you goosebumps. Do you know what the real motive behind this deadly game was? Marjorie Deal Armstrong needed a hitman to murder her own father, and she needed around $250,000 to pay him. They planned the bank robbery to steal that exact money. But the biggest question was, why did they choose Brian Wells to wear the bomb? This is the most heartbreaking and dark twist of the story. Brian was not caught in a random trap that day. He was betrayed by a woman he trusted named Jessica Hoopsick, who was a street worker he financially helped out of greed for a little money. Jessica gave Brian's name to those monsters, telling them he was a simple, lonely man who would easily fall into their trap. That innocent man believed until his very last breath that the bomb was completely fake. Another terrifying detail that shocks people is Brian's t-shirt. When his body was found, he was wearing an extra white t-shirt over his pizza uniform with the word GUESS written in huge letters. It was a sick joke by the psychopaths to challenge the entire police system, and the walking cane he held to rob the bank was a custom-built shotgun. Imagine what Brian must have felt in those final moments when he realized on live TV that he was just a pawn, and there was no key. Another criminal named Kenneth Barnes later confessed that Marjorie and Bill were parked nearby watching Brian suffer. Live, they left him there to die, showing just how evil the human mind can be. Today, the people of Erie still feel a chill walking down those streets because they know the final mastermind of that horrific day might still be alive, watching from the shadows. Subscribe now for the next dark case.